Hi, driver. Pay attention to the road, please. We don't want to suffer any accidents. Great. Okay, I will start. We can start. But I'm gonna try to give a very brief webinar, or just so you can know me better and know my background and now where I come from and how I try to develop these educational programs. And I'm very grateful for Ines and the Kids Fellows to be part of this Erasmus Job Shadowing, Erasmus Plus Job Shadowing to improve education in AAS, in Animal Assisted Services, and how all this experience about sharing knowledge uh, brings you an opportunity to move forwards and to move beyond training and beyond education. Because for me, all of this just comes to a point of trying to be your best version every single day. No, every time you wake up in the morning, just um, try to achieve your best version. No, it's not so much about making money or being profitable. It's about being sustainable and um, living a living a life that's worth living. No, these words were shared by Martha Kiley Worthington about the quality of life. And when we work in horses and equine-assisted services or animal-assisted service, we have to be very, very aware that it's not only ourselves, but we are responsible also for the other partners, animal, horses, guinea pigs, as Ines has, or insects, or whatever, and try to so they can give out the best version of themselves. Try to provide that quality of life, no? And I'm also part of the HETI ethics task force, and we have developed this ethical guidelines. And these 5 domains and 5 freedoms from Dr. Miller gives us all the provisions that these animals or these equines will need. But we all also need to integrate it to our own selves, so we can, when we do our services, we can provide the best version of ourselves for those service users that are in a vulnerable situation. So that's me. I'm Carlos Ganzabal, and I'm going to start sharing. I start speaking, and I forgot to share the my presentation. Okay, so I will just make you small so I can. There you go. I cannot see you now, so I guess we'll go on, and after we can have some questions. Okay. Well, this is the welcome to this webinar, Beyond Training, the Power of Connection, and how to build or how to develop educational programs with horses or around equines. It's a webinar that's part of this Erasmus Plus Job Shadowing that I was part with the Kid Fellows in Lithuania and this education and improving education. First of all, so you can know me better. My name is Carlos Ganzabal, and I think I have 41 years old, and I'm very curious and passion, and I have a very high passion for sharing knowledge and getting in touch with different projects and to share my expertise or my experience. I'm based in Bilbao, that's in the north of Spain, and for me, I love this traveling around, visit this job shadowing with the Kid Fellows in Lithuania, the other job Erasmus Plus, or this travels, or this getting to know people from other environments and other countries, just brings me an opportunity to discover new opportunities, no, and discover new mindsets and reframe my mindsets. And what I want to try to share in this presentation is all of this about just sharing and opening a new mindset, no, because where I come from, it's a can be a very narrow mindset. But when you start traveling, like we all like travel, you can open up and you have more opportunities to what I said before. Try to walk towards your best self possible. You know? I have been working in the question field for more than 20 years when I started my entrepreneurial experience, and I have shifted my mindset from a traditional horse trainer on horse the equestrian trainer to somewhere different where I'm more self-aware of myself and in the horse world, and me being more self-aware of my own self and how my mind, body, and um, and body, cuerpo, mente y alma, and soul connect makes me also have the opportunity to see our partners, our equine partners, as much more than a simple tool. No? So this is what I would like to share, and just so it's very important that what I want to say here, it's not a rule of thumb. It's my own personal experience and what I have learned from these opportunities that life have run into me. No? So let's start. So the goal of this webinar is that you can know me a little bit better and share my life experience. Like I said before, I have deconstruct from a traditional mindset to a different point of view where I'm more aware about this horse human bond and this awareness, no? And also having this opportunity that this can be a challenging process and encourage change. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, but while you develop these educational programs with horses and how you communicate, for me in like 20 years ago, in my first experience as creating these leisure activities around horses or with show jumping, because I was to be a show jumper trainer and show jumping rider, or the mountain games, to after doing my postgrad in uh, equestrian assisted services or equestrian assisted learning, like working, creating programs for disabled or for people with disabilities. Today, working in more awareness of how do I feel, how do I think, how do I move, how the horse thinks, how the horse thinks, how the horse moves, how the horse feels. This type of creating spaces, that this space is where I am right now, where it's about bringing the opportunity and bringing the empowerment to these projects, like Ines project and Ines community that she's building with the Kid Fellows, or Hetty, or Puerto Caballo, or Ainice, or ISIS. This all these agrupations that are working with animals or trying to create this environments, or these are safe environments for horses and humans to try to just not uh, get a benefit of the animal, but walk towards the best possible version. No, and that's why in the end of this diagram is this infinite symbol. No, what I'm going to do tomorrow, I don't really know, because, but I would like to create this space of coexistence based on gratitude and compassion for humans, animals, specific horses, environment, and with that, try to give the world. Maybe this can be a little bit a utopia thing. Try to give the world these tools, or this leave the world a little bit better than it is right now. No, because nowadays, with all this politics and everything, it's a little bit polarized. And when you reframe your mindset and you shift and you uh, undergo that process of change to just get into a opportunity mindset and growth mindset, it's for me, it's enthusiastic. And what I said before, it's not a rule of thumb that you have to be super happy and super opportunity. This is challenging. It's a real challenging process, and you have to uh, walk that journey. You have to walk that path, because not all the days we are gonna be a very nice in this environment, and with the sun. Now it's spring coming. Some days are raining, and some days are cold, and some days you don't have energy. But for me, this opportunity that Ines brings me, and she brought me with the visit to Lithuania for my second time, and this job shadowing really gives me, and I'm really in debt to give, empower these projects and these people that are behind those projects, that they are really on working to try to work at the best possible version. No? So really is that, no? So really for me is that. So let's see. Let's start. That's so you can know me a little bit better and my background. So why nowadays we in the first century, 21st century, this why we choose to do things with animals, no? In education, in therapies, in leisure, in sports. Why are horses so? No, when I was preparing this webinar, and I was thinking about this why, no? So for me, you can have, of course, this depends on where in your vital moments are. No? But for me, in one first point, you want to do things with horses because you maybe have a lack of self-confidence, and you need that need of control over others, no? But so when you do these educational programs and you see that in that service user that is coming to your space, and they need or they ask for your services, your learning services or educational service to do something with horse, why they are coming? They want to come for a real connection. They want to come for a desire of control because they need that self esteem or that lack of own confidence. I'm not a psychologist. I'm just a physical education teacher, but this is just questions, no? And this is why I have these two verses, no? This control image of things doing like sport or a question shift to something called shared animality, no? This Martha Kylie Worthington, I have been living, I have met her 2 days here in Spain. She is 84, a farmer with 84 years. Okay, and she talks about humans being primates. So that means that really our humans are animals. And if our humans are animals and we choose to do programs of education, learning, developing therapies with other animals, horses and equines in this moment, but anthropology involves other type of animals too. This means that we have to be aware of us that we humans are animals. And if we humans are animals and have own needs, they will have their own needs. So we have to start to listen and to observe to them, no? And maybe this can create some type of thunderstorm inside, or that's why we said before that this changing process. It's not easy because when you face this situation, it can be of, yeah, challenging, no? And I'm not saying that we shouldn't ride horses. We have to be like just observers, because even though in observing, you're going to have an influence. Of course, you're going to have an influence when you ride. It's just about putting awareness of how we influence when we do this service, or how we influence when we are dealing with service users, or we are training our horses, or managing our horses, or managing our own selves, no? Because as we can have this lack of confidence in some moments, and we need uh, different projects to bring us this opportunity and this hope. This will help us, or for me it helps. And for me, like to develop these programs, has also to be very clear about the communication of the goals on how you're shifting, no? So when you're building this program or this educational program for horses, you have to be very clear, because it's going to be different if you are working from a leisure point of view, from a sport point of view, from a learning point of view, from an educational point of view, or from a sharing point of view. And we just have to be aware about that, and be aware that we are also animals, as they are, that animal that we are including in our services, because we both cohabit this planet that is called Earth. And we don't have to go to very fancy things, but we just have to see this type of make it simple movement, no? Just observe, and even when we observe, we have an influence. And being aware of that observation is, so Audrey is here. We all know about now the benefits that we can create with animal assisted intervention, and I'm not going to go very in deep like, with that, because the emotional and connection about connection, and this emotional connection and regulation, this non-judging space or non-judging present makes a safe space. And for me, I can say that today, 2025, 8th of April 2025, I'm 41, and maybe since last year, I have gained a lot of confidence to sit here in front of my laptop with this camera, with a group of people, thinking of walking in anthropology, equine services, and walking in this space. And for me, I'm confident enough, because I think because of the connection and the communication, and my time space, my time share with Ines in the Erasmus and the job shadowing, has created a safe space for me to meet, to open, and bring this awareness. No, these safe spaces bring trust, bring openness. It's it's about creating this trust. And when we work with horses as service user, we have to create this safe space based on trust, not because we are doing things for fear or control. It's because we want to be there, because we are comfortable. Okay, it's not because I'm gonna give you food, I'm gonna give you water. It's because we want to be in the same space. I created this webinar here proposed this webinar for these kid fellows on the internet, because I wanted to share my thoughts, my experience with a community that I feel that they are part of me. So it's not sounding very clear or very uh, how to make a program or educational program with horses. But I think all of this information we know about horses and animals as sentient beings, and as humans being as primates, and also animals, and how can we communicate this, makes this safe space. And when we sit down in the computer and write down this essay or this program, we have to write what we are feeling comfortable and safe that we can do, and always make it simple. Don't try to go to fancy things. Just make it simple. Know yourself, know what you know your knowledge, and with that knowledge, you can really open yourself and give it to the others. Give it to your service user, give it to your partners, give it to whatever. For me, when we are with animals, horses, what I said before, it gives me a motivation and an engagement of being my best self. Just because caring, I can learn from empathy, I can learn from patience, I can. It's incredible how to communicate, how to uh, problem solve it. You have issue and you have to try to be creative to solve that. Uh, the environments that we work are so enriched, sensory enriched, and so sensory rich that they are an opportunity. Okay, so we have to be very clear and be very accountable of what you know, what you are, who are your horses, what are your horses, and from that, give them to them. Okay, the impacts. No, all of this I have talking about this social connection, community building, this webinars, and they are an opportunity because we are in this webinar now. We are around seven people, I think. No, 6, 7 people. I know you more or less, and you have really click that link button for this Zoom call to be and hear me. And I'm grateful for that because this foster community, and it gives us this sense of confidence. And when I finish this call and end the recording, I'm gonna get much more higher just myself because you have listened to me and I have make a small impact on you because the next time you're doing a service user or a service program, it's not about money. I'm gonna give a brief example. Uh, 2 weeks ago, I had a call from a association of deaf people, deaf children in Vizcaya, where I am from. They were interested in creating an activity with horses to discover the nature of horses. Okay, I send them information and explain to them that for me being comfortable to create this space will be a 2 hour activity with being me. I will be with 2 horses and more or less 6 to 7 service users, and I will be walking the journey so that those 6, 7 service users can connect with those 2 equines with me in the middle. They didn't like that. This has a cost, an economical cost, of course, because uh, my knowledge and my energy needs to be not paid, but I need to restore this energy. And this association wasn't. They were thinking of another thing to do with horses because when, at least in Spain, when we think about horses, every everyone in her mind or in his mind visualize a riding lesson, 8 horses, one in a line, one behind the other, going trotting, cantering, walking, pulling the reins. They have that image, no? So we have, with this impacts we are creating and this knowledge, scientific knowledge and community, and sharing this information, we can move the window to reframe the reality that horses, it's much more than just going on the horse and doing things because they are sentient beings. And just bring that awareness. And I give them the information, but I'm not doing an activity with this group, this association, because the idea was another thing. So I just said them in very calmness and very patiently, if your goal for that activity or your idea for that is that, with that, sorry, I'm grateful, but I cannot help you because it's not going to be coherent for me. And okay, I'm not going to earn the money because I'm not going to do the activity. But at the end, if I do it, even though I earn the money, I will have much more, I will get a bigger loss in my energy and in my soul and in my mind because doing something that I don't believe. And just as I said before, that my path has come from a traditional mindset to somewhere beyond that, and having this connection with today, I can say this. Tomorrow, maybe I have to say another thing, and I'm not worried about saying sorry and moving to that, no, because I will feel myself and will feel my animal partner that I'm working with to feel that service user that it's in need or has this lack of confidence or has this lack of something that is has come to me so I can assist or I can facilitate this growing or learning opportunity. So these educational and learning programs really are, for me, growing that opportunity. And then this innate human nature connection, this biophilia, no? We are animals. So if we are animals, just as Martha Kelly Worthington, as a farmer of 84 years old in the UK, we have to be and we have to treat ourselves as animals as well as we treat them. Makes sense? Because this will give us grounded, it will gives us desire to connect with living beings. It will give us much more opportunities, no? So let's continue with that. So yes, there's a rising interest in animal-assisted interest in interaction learning services, but it just gives us a deeper understanding of what this equine-assisted services, so animal-assisted service, it's really multifaceted, and we have to work in a team, and we have to share this information between us, okay? Between the kid fellows, between the healthy webinars, between Proyecto Caballo, between IDICE, between ISIS, between our all individual our individual projects, okay, our own individual programs, that we have a positive effect on human and animal well-being and quality of life. That we are trying to be our best every single day we wake up. So some key elements that for me are important when we develop these programs of with horses that can be that have an impact to society or to our service user. It's all about a self-awareness, because when we are connected in body, mind, and soul, we are aware and we can see the others, okay, and we can help them, and we can be empathetic, and we can be positive, and we can see the opportunities and bring scientific journals, scientific information to every daily life is what this program should uh, be all about. We have to make them simple. So people can be influenced and can have a positive impact. We have to be very clear on, just what I said before, this association for deaf children in Kaya, how to show our programs. They are from leisure, they are from understanding horses, they are from educational, they are for training, they are for professionals, they are for students. We have to be very clear. So, very truthfully, so people uh, don't have like ideas on what they think they're gonna get, and then what really they are getting. It's personal development. I was remembering now when I was creating this webinar, the magnificent, incredible story of the horses of Ugne in Kaunas city, near Kaunas city. She had like a forest school space with donkeys, ponies, chickens, dogs. Every single animal, every single person that was there had their own story, their own story of growth, their own story of development, their own story of going beyond uh, problems or things that you need to work, or going beyond and getting to improvement to have the worth life that is worth living. So for me, today I can say that hearing this safe spaces, these journeys of people, wherever in the world they are a very impact resource for growing and to mirror ourselves. And horses do this all the time. So it's important that we have to be more active. So communicate those personal stories and yes, uh, give you the energy and give you this opportunity for you that you are listening to me now, that your stories are valuable. They're very, very valuable and they are worth it listening. They're not small, they're not big, they are worth it. And, and I would love to hear, just as I know Ines and Katia, I want to continue this growth environment. So for me, to create these educational programs and to create something, we have to be very, very, very aware about animal welfare, well-being, and keep updated scientifically and with an ethical point of view. We have to be very strong observation skills to assess skills, facial expressions, descriptors, human, horses, environment, how we treat the soil, how we treat humans, how we treat myself. Like the other day, this is a small story. I won't try to get you much time to it. Um, I was in an entrepreneur meeting, and one of the mentors told me, I want to know why you have this image of happy. Give me data. And I was thinking, okay, maybe I can speak with my doctor and have some type of clinical, blood samples, a blood test about cortisol and everything, because I think happiness and having a world that is worth living, it's all start in your mind. And when you train your mind, you can train your body, you can train your soul. So just not observe physicals, but also have a strong outside observation and a strong inside observation. And lastly, have effective communication. Be very clear on what is the goal of your educational program, leisure, therapies, education, on what you are, to make it easy. Because Life can be challenging, and it's challenging. And people out there, service user mainly, the daily life sometimes is so messy that if we give them so many scientific names, scientific data, they say, "Woof, that's too much. Make it easy, make it simple." And with that, we can create these safe protocols because with these safe protocols, we create these environments where we can be safe to be ourselves, but just not humans. Humans are animals partners, are horses partners, our environment that we are on, Portugal, Lithuania, Spain, wherever. Today, on the 21st century, we have a great opportunity because we can have webinars, we can have WhatsApp groups, we can have WhatsApp calls. It's amazing to share. It's incredible opportunity. So just some small things you can take away. For me, it's important. And when I was creating this presentation about this, how to create educational programs around horses, be aware about that shift and that change, and embrace it. Okay, from this control, why we are doing things with horses, and given an opportunity to understand both human and equine needs or animal needs. Have a really, really good and approach about scientific and collaborative approach. Be updated daily. I have thousands of emails that I cannot manage. I would love to manage, but communities as the Kid Fellows, communities as HETI, communities as the European Network. In Spain, there's also a equine-assisted service network, Beyond Welfare and Community, Horse Life Experience Community. All these experiences and all these communities want to bring scientific research, scientific knowledge into daily life, sharing this positive impact, sharing what you do, even it's small. Share your life stories in Instagram, uh, podcast. On, I think it was on 2020, I started creating this podcast, just speaking with people, and I'm absolutely grateful to all the information that I learn and integrate of talking with people from different points of view, different parts of the world, understanding different things and understanding the cultural diversity. And just as like this story of Fugne or these inspiring stories. I remember the last dinner, last dinner, or I don't remember what's the last one, but no, even no matter. We sat down in this fireplace in I don't know the name, Siolani, and we have dinner, typical Lithuanian dinner, and they were sharing the culture of this pagan religion point of view, and this nature so connected to this Lithuanian culture, so connected to nature. No, even though the flag has red, yellow, and green or blue, no green, it was the red was blood. I look at it on the Google. I don't remember now. The yellow was like the land and the environment, and the blue was or the green. I don't remember if it was blue or green now. The Lithuanian flag. Sorry for that. It was about
Green, Carlos,
green.
green.
Thank you, Lina. Thank you. Thank you. Green, true. It was green. It was about the connection with nature. And this story, thank you for that. And this history about it was not about religion or Catholic, it was about the pagan Catholic about pagan history of Lithuania was so amazing and so nice to hear. That was like, oh, it's just that nature connection, that connecting with the beings. Amazing. Then we walked and they told us a story about the moon. We went to a night and midnight walk to see the deers with a hunter and telling us the experience. Even though that they can be very dependent, you know, like in point of view, they all stated in the same point of view that being connecting with nature, when connecting with your own self, and just that. So for me, that understanding that happiness can be found within oneself, regardless the circumstance. That's it. So grateful for this opportunity, and I would love to hear your insights. Some learn and grow things. We have the Kid Fellows Network doing more webinars. We have the heading webinars, Beyond Reference Community. I'm upgrading a communication workshop in Spain in 3 or 4 of May. There's a Horse Life Experience in May. There's an anthropology bootcamp coming in. There's HETI trainers training. There's lots of things going in. So thank you. Let's keep in touch. I want to hear your insight now.
Thank you so much, Carlos. It was very nice to hear you. Thank you so much.
I don't want it to go 45 minutes. Mother mia. sorry if I speak too much, if I was too much, but I try to be very
Yeah,
give my experience when I was Ines, you asked me to do this webinar and how to create this. I didn't want to go so much to the scientific, because today you can work with IA or ChatGPT and give me a program with horses and perfectly stated. So I was just trying to, or what now for me it's important, no, be aware of this, because now I have gained lots of confidence in myself and be aware of this. I will send Ines this document, this PDF you want to share also, and they recording. So thanks a lot for your patience and your viability, and I hope that I inspire you a little bit, and I want to hear your insights.
Thank you, Carlos. You inspired me. Now I go to interact with my horses in the evening.
Previous to leave, I will ask you if you can put yourselves with video to take a picture, if I can, of some of you. Hello, Audrey.
I can take that too also.
Lina?
Maria?
I would love to see you. Don't go, Lina.
Yeah, I'm here. I can go to my horse.
Yeah, you can go and you can take a picture of it. So yeah. the idea was exactly that that to share what we have learned in Lithuania. We learn a lot of more, but we are going to more different. There it goes.
Of course, we have learned a lot more, but for me, this travel to Lithuania was very important for my
very curious
awareness. And I love Lithuania. And really, it's
yes, me too.
Thank you. Very, very interesting. Very interesting presentation.
It's government country, so I really engaged to go back there because nicely.
Yeah, the idea was to share what we not only what we learn, but this perspective, because the idea is to improve ourselves, develop, as Carlos said, develop his personal growth. So we focus more on this. I think it's very important, and it's, I guess, all the 3 participants that went there felt so. I was there also as parasite, right, Lina? And it was my favorite country. Of 5 countries we went, it was because of this. It is the peace that we were there in Kauna with Ugne, but also in Kurtuvnai Park. in Courtevnay Park. It was amazing, amazing. All the experience. I think for all of us, it was very, very good. Be with the horses and the nature, and how do you say? All the animals around. It was amazing. And thank you, Carlos, for this
I
webinar.
really, this animal assisted intervention services, it's about that connection to nature. And I think Lithuania has all of this. Even in the flag definition, they have it. Like it's part of them. So it's part of.
Audrey, you want to say something?
Yes, of course.
I just want to thank Carlos. That was really lovely. And sometimes we forget about that just emotional connection because we're so busy doing things and treating people. And, you know, it's just nice to remember and come back to that. It grounds us. So that, thank you.
Thank you, Audrey. And it's just my personal experience of what I am now. So it's not like a rule of thumb. It's just what I wanted to share.
Yes, and
I hope to receive like improvements. I'm happy to hear that.
And we are very thankful for Lina for hosting us, and we will share the with you and our members the records, and but after we are going to make some other presentations about the experience, what we learn, the scientific part that Carlos doesn't want, but it is not supposed to. So, but after we are going to do more because we learned a lot. Besides our personal growth, it was very good for knowledge also.
Yes.
Yeah, the mindfulness. Remember, the mindfulness was amazing.
The mindfulness, it's everything. All the experience was
the open arena. We were there seeing a mindfulness session with horses. It was I loved it. Also a coaching session with Igna. It was Igna that showed us how she managed a coaching session with horses. So we learned a lot also.
But also,
so thank you, Lina.
I think it's important in this here to be aware that all those experiences like with Igna and with the horses and the mindfulness, they are people as we are. They're trying out their best. So it's amazing, and I'm grateful to have that opportunity to be part of there and just learn about it. So
yes, it was very good.
Was very good, and of course, how can to get like and when I was preparing, I felt that I didn't want to be wanted to be something much more personal, like just telling out what how this job shadowing in Lithuania I have integrated, and all this mindfulness and all this with Igna have helped me in my own entrepreneur process. And maybe it can be sound selfish, but not scientific. Is what I
but it's education.
But I'm not so scientist, so maybe it's that.
Okay. I need to leave also. So thank you, Carlos. Thank you, Lina.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hope to see you soon.
Okay.